What if I pointed out that almost everything every one of you uses in your daily lives is a result of industrial processes? You'd probably then agree that development's extremely important, right? But now what if I told you that 25% of Canada's urban landscape has been contaminated by these industrial activities? That's a quarter of the areas we live in, polluted with toxic contaminants that can negatively impact our health. Cancer, liver and kidney damage, and neurological disorders are all serious health effects that result from exposure to this contamination. Not only do these contaminated sites pose serious health threats, but they also take up valuable space. Each year, natural and agricultural land is reduced by urban development. What if instead of taking over more land, we could clean and reuse these contaminated sites? This could provide economic benefits and allow for more sustainable development. So it's pretty clear that it's necessary to treat these sites. But the question is, how do we remove the contamination? The great news is there's been a lot of success in developing technologies that can remove this contamination. One of these methods involves injecting compounds into the ground that can then break down the contaminants. This method works great in sand, but issues arise when we try to use it in clay. We all know that irritating feeling of being stuck in traffic, so let me try to use that as an example to explain why issues arise when we try to inject compounds into clay. It's easy to deliver a compound in sand because there's a lot of space between the particles, just as it's easy for a delivery truck to make deliveries if there isn't much traffic. It becomes more difficult, however, to inject compounds into clay because there is not a lot of space between the particles, just as it becomes more difficult to make deliveries with really heavy traffic. Knowing the risks associated with this contamination, we want to be able to treat all sites, even the clay ones. My research focuses on finding a way to successfully inject compounds into clay so that contamination can be removed from many more sites. We're doing this by applying a current across the ground. We can think of it like a big battery, where we have a positive charge on one side and a negative charge on the other. We know opposites attract. So if we inject a compound with a positive charge, it's attracted to the negative side. This improves the delivery of these helpful compounds and allows them to break down the contaminants. If this technology is successful, more and more sites can be cleaned, providing a step forward in improving human and environmental health in the midst of development. Thank you.